At least they said so, so maybe they were wrong. Anyway, the Muslims with machine guns came out blasting. And this guy had a handgun, shot them both dead with headshots. Bang, 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 bang. We don't know if it was 2 shots or 4, but the Muslims with the machine guns went to the sturgeons. They got the 72 sturgeons they were promised. That's for sure. And we avoided a trial, and we avoided a bloodbath. How do you feel about Hussein Obama triggering all these things in this country? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about CNN taking the side of the Islamics who want to take away our freedom of speech? I want to remind you of something. I'm the only American talk show host, actually the only member of the American media that I know of banned from entering Britain. Since 2009, I cannot enter the nation of Britain. And that is because, well, and it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible loss for me because I can't get the dental care that I want, and I can't get the cuisine that England is famous for. And I've been wanting since 2009, it's been many years now, to go over there for some dental work in their socialized dental plan and go over there and get some great English cuisine. I mean, I can't get fish and chips here. But on a more serious note, I am banned from entering England for things I didn't really say, but they allege that I said about Muslims and Islam. Of course, I was 1,000% right then, and I'm 1,000% right now. Has the English government apologized to me? Have they paid me reparations for denying me this dental care all these years? No. But there's a bigger point to the story, as I'm very familiar with what freedom of speech is. I'm the only member of the talk show world who has won the Freedom of Speech Award. Well, maybe. No, that's not true. Some of them have bought it. I mean, I'm sorry. Some of their syndicators bought it for them. That's right. I'm sorry. I was wrong about that. How do you feel about this? Do you feel that the organizer of the event, Pamela Geller, got what she deserved? She did this because she dared say, draw a picture of Muhammad? Now, I do remember when the Silenterates on the left put Jesus Christ, the statue of Jesus Christ, in a jar of urine at the Brooklyn Museum a number of years ago, and the museum director giggled over it, saying it's freedom of speech. They tee-heed over it. Well, it was freedom of speech. It was an artist. An artist could put Jesus in a bottle of urine. Nobody burned anything down. Christians didn't put on body armor and get AKs and go shoot up the Brooklyn Museum because they're civilized people. We are not dealing with civilized people. We're dealing with, use any expletive you'd like. You know the whole story, right? 1 of 2 Garland, Texas shooting suspects identified. Muslim converts, African Americans converted in prison. Why in the world they permit this to go on in our prisons is not a story I don't understand. I know exactly what it is. It's a recruiting ground. A recruiting ground. A recruiting ground. Who was the shooter? Elton Simpson. Another prize from the gutters of America. Garland shooting suspect Elton Simpson's father said, "My son made a bad choice." You hear this? The father of one of the suspected Islamic gunmen in the Garland, Texas shooting told ABC News that his son made a bad choice. Dunstan Simpson said, "We are Americans and we believe in America. What my son did today reflects very badly on my family." I wonder why I didn't say that before. Dunstan Simpson said his son, the murderous Islamist who is now in heaven raping infants, worked at a dentist's office, but was on vacation for the last few weeks, and the 2 last spoke 3 weeks ago. In other words, the father knew nothing. He dummied up. All the parents, every time there's an Islamic attack in America, the parents say he was a good boy. We had no idea he was radical. We thought he was a regular guy who cleaned teeth. The elder Simpson said that while he was a strict father, Elton was always a good kid. Meanwhile, followers of ISIS had been sending messages about the event in Texas for more than a week, calling for attacks. One referenced January's Charlie Hebdo massacre in France and said it was time for brothers in the United States to do their part. I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.
The Savage Nation is sponsored by SwissAmerica.com, the only company I, Michael Savage, trust to buy my gold and silver from. It is the Savage Nation. I talked about some politics, and I also talked about a dream I had about the white elephant with a blindfold on. What a dream. I mean, you got to give me credit for that one. Even if I'm making it up, which I'm not, it's very creative. Tell me who else could have come up with a blindfolded white elephant. Nobody in the history of radio, ever. I don't know what they're on, man. I mean, aren't they tapping into their subconscious? I am. So here's my sound. I'm going to give you choices today. Make believe you're in a restaurant. I'm the waiter. I'm Michael Savage, and I'm the head waiter. I'm coming over to your table. Good evening, madam. Here is what's on the menu tonight. We have cuts from Savage on the Alex Jones Show as an appetizer. We have Camilla Geller. I don't recommend that one unless you take it with a little Briol or some Alka-Seltzer, so we'll skip that. I wouldn't recommend the Pamela Geller for today because it's a little stale. I can't guarantee that it's fresh. It's fresh frozen. I would not recommend the Pamela Geller. On the menu today is a Muslim on NBC who says that Islam should be protected from satire. I recommend you take that with some strychnine. Also on the menu, we have Peter King, who said we need more surveillance of people in the Muslim community. Try that, but be careful of that one. There may be some fish bones in it, because he doesn't really mean it. Then there's the Garland mayor saying there's no evidence of ISIS involvement in the attack, despite ISIS claiming responsibility. I would say take that with not only a grain of salt, but the whole salt shaker. We also have on our menu today Garland shooter's attorney, that's the Muslim's attorney, saying there was no indication of terror. He just might have snapped. That's the lawyer. I'd recommend not taking that one. That fish is so old, I wouldn't serve it to a cat. Then we have this. Here's another thing. This is for the main course. You may want this on the menu today. Obama says young people like Trayvon Martin are just as talented as me, only they didn't get a chance. How's that for the big lie? Everyone's an Einstein. Trayvon Martin was waiting to become an Einstein. Does Obama know what he just said? Does he have any idea how idiotic this is to say Trayvon Martin was just like him? So he's telling us he's an undeserving idiot who was put in that position by forces so great that we couldn't even control it the second time. Listen to clip number 17. Try this for an appetizer.
Over a year ago, we launched something we call My Brother's Keeper, an initiative to address those persistent opportunity gaps and ensure that all of our young people, but particularly young men of color, have a chance to go as far as their dreams will take them.
Really? No young women of color? No Hispanics? Just black men? That's very fair of you, Mr. Obama. But it gets even worse in 18. Listen to this.
It's an idea that we pursued in the wake of Trayvon Martin's death because we wanted the message sent from the White House in a sustained way that his life mattered, that the lives of the young men who are here today matter, that we care about your future. Not just sometimes, but all the time.
Yeah, that's what you do. You go to sleep every night thinking about men of color in the ghetto. Every time you fly away in another junket somewhere, every time you rake in another couple of $1 million from the rich white folk somewhere in America, that's all you're thinking about is young men of color, right? It gets best now. Now, here's the best part. Here's the main course, clip 19. Try this, see if you can digest it.
In every community in America, there are young people with incredible drive and talent.
Sure.
And they just don't have the same kinds of chances that somebody like me had.
No.
They're just as talented as me, just as smart. They don't get a chance.
See, he just told us that he's exactly equal to people wearing a hoodie in the ghetto, only they don't have people pushing them the way he was pushed by his white mother and his grandparents. Well, I mean, at least they admitted it. They pushed Frito into the White House now. The gardener got in. I want to shift, though, to something entirely different. A plane bound for Amman, Jordan, goes down in the Caspian Sea. The crash yields no survivors except the hijacker. And a cask containing an agent of unprecedented destructive potential is missing from the plane wreckage. A carefully plotted terrorist attack has been put into motion, and the resulting chaos might be enough to push America toward another costly war. Countdown to Mecca, it's a gripping page-turner. I'll be right back.
Join the Savage Nation. Call now, 855-400-SAVAGE, 855-400-7282. Savage.